Hello everybody and welcome back to Supreme Commander 2, and today I have got a pretty fun replay for you guys. But let's get in and let's look at our players, our teams. We are on Tourney Dome. We're on Tourney Dome 4v4. In the red we have Karma going, looks like, to research and focusing on his economy. In the white we have, where'd he go? We have Potat. And he's going to go right up onto the front line and establish a land factory. He's going to go for a land open and take control of mid. In the orange, we have... where's he at? We have Colin also going up, probably coordinating with Potat here. He's also going to go up and establish a front line up on the mid. And in the mustard green color, we have Grey Dingo as Cybran. And it looks like he is going triple research. Going to go for that early tech, probably get into fast air or land experimentals, but we'll see what he does. I actually already know what these players do, but it's okay. You're gonna find out. Over on the left side team, in the green, we have Genghis Crystler, son of Lordo, going first land as Cybran. And gonna get up to the mid to help expand and take control of that front line. Going triple research, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself. We have Alpha Hex in the brown. He's gonna push right on up to the front line as well with his commander, and he's gonna end up going air. In the purple, with double air already out and going, we have the legendary Rex. He's a UEF, and also as UEF going to research first land because he was panicking and has forgotten how to play this game because it's been a while. We have yours truly, Loku, in the blue. And we're going to get right in. So we're going to see right out the gate here, we're going to see some pretty nice air scouting going on from purple. Legendary Rex with that fast double air is going to scout out and find out that there is no air player so far on the enemy team. They're going all land. We have Illuminate land coming up from red. We have Illuminate land coming up from white. We have Cybran land coming up from orange. And we're eventually going to get another Cybran land coming up from, excuse me, we have Cybran land coming up from mustard. We have UEF land coming up from orange. Pardon me. And they have taken all of mid here, so right side team is in with an early game advantage, but what is that I see? We have air gantry rush coming out from Alpha Hex. That's right, we have the classic AC 1000 rush. This game is all memes. It's hilarious, and I love it. Because during the match we were talking about, boy, we're going to hit him with the old Andro strats. And if you've watched any of the older Supreme Commander 2 content, you know who Andros is. He's a YouTuber. He used to do quite a bit of casual gameplay for Supreme Commander 2. It's been a while since he uploaded any Supreme Commander 2, but he was a pretty big name in the community for a long time just because of how popular his channel was at the time. But he was mostly a casual player. He was not actually big into the the competitive scene, I should say. And this was one of his favorite strats, was the triple research AC 1000 rush. And not only is Alpha Hex doing it, but I'm doing it as well. I decided against the land play. I was initially going to go for Fat Boys. Decided to say screw that. I'm going to go into AC 1000s, and I've got two factories up. A AC 1000 building right behind Alpha Hex here. We have good air control coming out from purple. Our team is already engaging in the middle. I'm going to slow this back down a little bit. Alpha Hex microing this AC 1000 to keep out of range of the anti-air of these Harvogs, because the Illuminate air land players have gone straight into the Harvogs for the anti-air, knowing that they don't have any real air control at this time. It's a little bit late for them to try to establish that. Orange is certainly going to try, though. He's got two air factories coming up right now. Colin is really going to try to press us for the air control, even though purple already has a pretty solid hold on this. And the downside of being behind on the land front is that we are already on the back foot in this land engagement. Megal is pushing right up into our front line, but we are going to hold the line just about with these AC 1000s from Alpha Hex and the land support coming out from green, Mr. Genghis, and just a little bit of help coming in from actually, I saw blue and then realized, wait a minute, that's me. Yeah, I had just a few tanks I had built initially from my land factory that I sent forward here just to delay the enemy more than anything else. They didn't really accomplish a whole lot. Very bad play for me here, by the way. Don't do this. Do not build land factory first and then switch into air. Commit to whatever you decide on. I have not played in a while, and so I'm very, very, very rusty, and I wasn't actually all that skilled to begin with. Green, however, putting on a much better showing here of land strats with support from Alpha Hex. Alpha Hex has got turrets up here underneath the Cybran shielding, and he's using these factories as a sort of a forward hold point to assist our land forces in holding out against the superior numbers of the enemy team. Enemy teams who've got experimentals out already. They've got higher numbers on the ground. We've only got unshielded loyalists and Brackmans out so far, really, for our land defense. So these turrets under these shields are pretty significant in helping us hold this front line for as long as possible, because the play here that Alpha Hex and I are going for is very silly, and it's to hope we survive long enough to get critical mass of AC-1000s. I hate that you guys can't see the chat in the game because it was quite funny. Grandugo was talking some smack. Our team was kind of like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? We are not going to win with this. It was very fun. We do see Cicada coming up already, and so you can't see it, but from our point of view, all of these forces are underneath the Cicada field, and we can't actually see them until the Cicada dies. Genghis dies right then and there. Just like that, we have lost our primary land player, and now we are completely without land forces on the front line to hold this line with. Genghis making the ultimate sacrifice here to try to hold the line. I'm going to go in and try to do some damage with the 4 AC-1000s I've gotten up so far, but the air defense in here is just so strong. I can't find any commanders. These commanders are both underneath the Cicada, so I couldn't find them or see that they were there. I was trying to engage these anti-air defenses, and at this point, Alpha Hex has lost his AC-1000s. I lose my AC-1000s, and we accomplished almost nothing, just destroyed some basic anti-air turrets, and that was it. At this point, we thought the game was lost. There was nothing we really should have been able to do to come back from this, but for whatever reason, the enemy did not immediately push into us with these forces that they have here in the land. I really think that if they had pushed forward with these Cicadas and these little bit of paltry land forces that they have available, they might have just been able to push into Alpha Hex and kill him, and if they had managed that, that would have almost certainly been the end of the line. In the meantime, Purple here, Legendary Rex has gone full air scale production. He's going to go all fighters, nothing else. He's relying completely on our AC-1000s to hold the line against these land forces coming in. Alpha Hex has gotten the upgrades for his research station. He's going to use this point defense on his research and his mass extractors to help him hold the line here. Harvog anti-air doing basically no damage once you've unlocked the veterancy upgrades for your AC-1000s, and they are just going to get absolutely ripped to pieces here by a single AC-1000. Now there's support coming in from me, and this force no longer stands any hope of a chance. Harvogs are simply not strong enough, particularly if the enemy doesn't have the veterancy and damage upgrades unlocked for them, and at this point I'm not sure if they did, but it's possible that they did not, because that anti-air was simply just not doing damage. Megaliths with Cicada support here is a much bigger concern, but again, we have the point defense upgrades on these research stations. They're either going to engage into this and lose quite a bit, or it's going to take them forever to clear, and in that time I will be able to come in with my AC-1000s. We're going to clear this right up. I'm holding the line here, playing defensively, trying to keep us alive while I let Alpha Hex focus on trying to figure out where we need to go to attack. I'm relying on his guidance here at this point in the match because I haven't played competitively in quite some time. I'm up to 3 factories now, producing them as quickly as I can, but I've not played in so long that I'm not entirely sure what it is that I should be doing. So I'm relying on his guidance on what I need to be doing. I'm watching for incoming forces, keeping my AC-1000s at the ready and grouped up so that I can send them where they need to go in order to try to defend both my base and Alpha Hex's at the same time from these encroaching land forces. Overwhelming amounts of Harvogs coming in here with Bomb Bouncer support now. That Bomb Bouncer is dangerous because the explosion AoE on its ability is enough. It's large enough that the AC-1000s, if they go too close to it, they will just die. They will take damage from the charged ability. They're pushing Alpha Hex. They recognize him as the greater threat. They're going to try to get in here with these Bomb Bouncers and these Harvogs. and push in and take out his production facilities. I'm worried about my own base, trying to take down these Harvogs that are down here before they can teleport. I do manage to get rid of them, but now I have to quickly get over here as fast as I can and deal with this. Meanwhile, Alpha Hex has led a charge with 4 AC-1000s to try to cut down the resources of the enemy here, and now Mustard Green and Orange are both very low on resources now. A lot of their mass extractors have been taken out. We've got fighter support coming in from Legendary Rex. Alpha Hex doing his absolute best to hamper the production abilities of Colin and, where's Mustard? Where's his commander at? There it is, of Colin and Grey Dingo, and because those are the guys putting forth quite a lot of the resistance on the front line in terms of defense and a lot of the offensive power in the forms of bomb bouncers and megaliths. They've got support coming in here from Red on their front line with the Harvogs, but the Harvogs at this point are just a distractionary force for the AC-1000s because they simply don't do a whole lot of damage. Red's commander also in the front line, Karma up here doing his best. He's got, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 land factories just pumping Harvogs and Fistouche mobile missile launchers as quickly as he can, looking to get in with the teleports and do some damage here away from the AC-1000s. AC-1000s are going to jump on top of this, and I believe they're going to teleport up here, try to get away, knowing that they can't deal with these AC-1000s if they're being microed correctly, which is exactly what we see here from Alpha Hex. Meanwhile, these AC-1000s from Alpha Hex have gone on an absolute rampage. The fighters in here are not enough to deal with them because of the purple fighters standing guard. I've gone in with my own AC-1000s to help clean some of this up. I'm going to attack Karma's base as quickly as I can. Big engagement happening over here in front of Alpha Hex's base. He's lost a couple of those factories. He's lost his front line. His defenses are down, but he's reproducing land factories here now to get his engineers up. And he's going to scale up his economy and keep producing those AC-1000s no matter what happens. He will not stop. He's going to be crucial in holding our line here because in the background of all of this, I have now got a 4th factory. I have energy coming up, and I've now got energy converters built. And this was my plan the whole time. I knew that I wouldn't be able to contribute too much on the front line and was hoping to get up a critical mass of AC-1000s, relying very heavily on my higher skilled teammates to maintain the front line for me while I got a force large enough for even me to be able to do something, and that's exactly what we're going to see here. Our AC-1000s here are eventually going to go down, but they're going to clean up quite a lot of this backline eco. We see all 4 main bases of our opponent for the right side team have been completely cleaned up and swept clear, resetting the veterancy on these mass extractors, so even if they get rebuilt, it'll stay quite a long time before their economy is back up to where it was. But despite all that, they did have some economy back built. They are still producing units here, but you'll notice only one of these 4 experimental factories for Grey Dingo is producing at the moment. They are now low on forces. They do not have enough to push into these gunships, bombers, and AC-1000s, and in conjunction with the research and mass extractor point defense in the bottom left corner. Alpha Hex Space also coming up online. He's going to get land factories. He's going into, I believe, Fat Boys, if I recall correctly, but I don't think they ever get much use. We have mass converters for Alpha Hex coming up as well. Meanwhile, in the back lines for Karma, Grey Dingo, and the rest of the right side team, they are completely destroyed. I have some rampaging AC-1000s that I set to fire and forget and deal with as much of this base as I could while I focused on what I was doing in my own base, getting my economy in order, dealing with these encroaching enemy units that's teleported past our front line. Going to cost us some air factories, but they eventually get cleaned up. These experimentals also going to get cleaned up by Alpha Hex. Bomb Bouncer and the Cicada are going to go down. We are at this point maintaining our hold, but theoretically the right side team still has the advantage in this situation. If they can just hold their ground, prevent us from expanding, and retake their lost mass, they now have the air forces necessary to hold their own against Purple. Legendary Rex is by himself with not much room for economy growth. His energy and mass conversion is not online because he's had to be focused on defense and microing his air units to keep the enemy fighters off of our backs. Alpha Hex doing his absolute level best to clean up these enemy land forces before they get close to our base, but look at the amount of fighters. Orange and white both now coming up. That's Colin and Potat. both of them coming up with their own groups of upgraded fighters, both UEF and Illuminate, and those are going to be a serious, serious problem for us. It will not take long before we are outscaled in terms of air control, and once we lose air control, these AC-1000s are no longer going to be effective. I'm going to take my entire group of AC-1000s in right now. I see the enemy fighters are distracted over top of Alhex's base, killing off of these AC-1000s almost scot-free. I've got maybe 10 AC-1000s here. I spot Collins, commander. I'm going to go for the dive. I'm going to eat all of this anti-air. Collins going to die on the spot. Boom, there he goes. Karma's right next to him. Karma goes down right after that. I spot White's commander. I go for Potat immediately and put a huge amount of damage on his commander. Huge amounts of damage on his commander. With that, half of the enemy team completely crumples. Their economy is in shambles. Grey Dingo and Potat now at a loss as to what to do. Potat control Ks and calls the GG. Grey Dingo control Ks and calls the GG. And with that, double UEF air memes have absolutely won the day. With the loss of our ground force commander near the beginning of the match, we are still going to hold the line with pure AC-1000 bullshittery. And I just thought that this was a game of all time and thought, yeah, I should absolutely share it. Alpha Hex is going to hate me for sharing this match, and I am so sorry. I think that was, honestly though, that was pretty impressive micro from Alpha Hex and from Legendary Rex here, absolutely holding the line while I got the slow build up to the critical amount of AC-1000s to go in and dive on these enemy commanders. The right side team put up an excellent display as well, taking early control of the middle of the map, taking advantage of the fact that we only had really one player going for land forces, and absolutely dominating. The only mistake they had is that they didn't really let anybody go air, meaning they had nothing to stop these AC-1000s from rampaging the backline. Alpha Hex, absolute MVP for clearing the entire backline economy uncontested of our opponents. Without that, they most certainly would have had enough air forces and time to build up a resistance to the amount of AC-1000s we had. Big shout out to Jengus, who absolutely held the front line pretty much by himself for the first 5 to 10 minutes of the match while the AC-1000s needed to hold, got up and online, and he paid for it with his life. But it was a worthwhile sacrifice because in the end, we brought it back, we won the day, and there you go. That's the end of that match. I thought that was hilarious and good fun. Let me know if you want to see more of these types of silly games, and I will probably look at uploading some more competitive replays in the near future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.